What would you do with a barren desert that nobody wants to live in? Build a $300 million airport, of course. It sounds like something out of a futuristic movie, but this is real. In the harsh, sun-scorched deserts of southern Pakistan, where sandstorms whip violently across the land every November, China chose to make the impossible happen. This isn't just a patch of empty sand. Temperatures can soar above 50 degrees Celsius in summer. Water is scarce, and the ground shifts like it wants to swallow anything built on it. For most people, this would be an abandoned no-go zone. Yet China saw potential where others saw emptiness. They invested hundreds of millions to create a fully operational international standard airport in the middle of this extreme environment. Why would anyone take on such a project in a place so unforgiving? That's the question we're about to explore. On the surface, it might seem absurd, a $300 million airport in the desert, but beneath the sand lies a story of strategy, geography, and ambitious engineering that could reshape regional trade and logistics. By the end of this video, you'll see how a worthless desert became a critical hub, linking air, sea, and trade in one of the world's most strategically important corridors. And trust me, the story gets even more incredible from here. At first glance, Gwadar might look like just another remote desert outpost, but its location tells a very different story. Pakistan is the second largest country in South Asia, with a long coastline along the Arabian Sea. And just 400 kilometers from Gwadar lies the Strait of Hormuz, the choke point through which roughly one-third of the world's oil flows. Imagine this. Every day, massive oil tankers pass through that narrow waterway, fueling economies across the globe. Gwadar Port sits near the entrance and exit of this crucial passage, acting like a shortcut for ships traveling from the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Sea. Compared with traditional routes like the Strait of Malacca, using Gwadar can save up to 85% in travel time and shipping costs. That's like taking a 10-hour flight that suddenly becomes a 90-minute hop, an enormous advantage in global trade. Beyond shipping, Gwadar has another hidden asset, a natural deep-water port with a depth of 14.5 meters, capable of accommodating massive 100,000-ton ocean-going vessels. On paper, this should make it a bustling freight hub connecting Asia, the Middle East, and beyond. But here's the catch. Geography alone isn't enough. Without proper infrastructure to support trade and logistics, even the most strategically located port can't reach its potential. That's where the story of the desert airport begins, a small piece of the puzzle that would unlock Gwadar's true value. Despite Gwadar's prime location, reality fell far short of its potential. The original airport was tiny, just a 2,000-meter runway, 2 parking spots, and only a handful of flights each year. Less than 34,000 passengers pass through annually, barely enough to justify its existence. For comparison, a small regional airport in the United States might see 10 times that number on a slow day. Meanwhile, Gwadar Port had massive capacity on paper, designed to handle 34.3 million tons of cargo per year. Yet in 2024, it barely managed 1.3 million tons, and nearly 80% of that was just imported fertilizers. The port's true potential was locked behind inefficiencies that couldn't be solved by geography alone. Part of the problem was simple math. A 30,000-ton commercial cargo ship arriving at Gwadar would have to wait an average of 72 hours to dock. By contrast, in Karachi, a port far less modern, the same ship could dock in just 8 hours. That kind of delay discourages international shipping companies who prefer efficiency over geography. Another major issue: Gwadar lacked the industrial and logistical backbone needed to support a high-volume port. Without nearby warehouses, factories, and transport links, even a perfectly built port remains underused. A beautiful gateway with no roads leading in or out. All these bottlenecks created a pressing question. How could Gwadar transform from a slow, underutilized desert port into a fully functional hub? The answer would require bold thinking, international collaboration, and massive investment. That's where China stepped in, seeing an opportunity to connect air and sea in a way that had never been done before. Seeing the bottlenecks at Gwadar, China didn't just offer advice, they rolled up their sleeves and laid out a bold plan. The engineering team conducted a thorough survey of the desert and discovered a small, underutilized airport with a 2,000-meter runway. It was barely enough for medium-sized aircraft, let alone international flights. Instead of patching the old airport, they envisioned something far bigger, a modern international airport right in the desert, designed to link directly with Gwadar Port. The goal was clear: create a seamless air-to-sea logistics network that could turn Gwadar into a true regional hub. The scale of the project was staggering. $300 million investment, covering 27,000 acres, meeting the 4F international standard. The new runway would stretch 3,658 meters long and 75 meters wide, capable of handling massive cargo planes like the Boeing 747 freighters and China's own Yun-20 transport aircraft. In other words, planes that were once too big for Gwadar could now take off and land safely, fully loaded. But it wasn't just about a runway. The Chinese team planned comprehensive supporting infrastructure drainage systems to withstand the desert's rare but violent storms, airport fencing for security, and advanced visual navigation aids. Even underground, they installed a state-of-the-art intelligent warehousing system, the world's highest altitude constant temperature storage, keeping delicate exports like saffron and pine nuts at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius all year. This wasn't just building an airport, it was building a lifeline for the region. By linking air transport directly to Gwadar Port, the airport would drastically improve logistics efficiency, allow faster cargo movement, and attract investment and tourism. It was a bold vision, transforming the barren desert into a strategic, economic powerhouse. Building a world-class airport in a desert sounds impressive, but the reality was even tougher. The Gwadar region isn't just empty sand, it's a hostile environment testing every engineering skill. Summers can soar to 52 degrees Celsius. The coastal breeze carries corrosive salt spray. Violent sandstorms whip through the area, and the soil itself is unstable, prone to collapsing or sinking under heavy weight. Simply laying a runway here was like trying to build a skyscraper on a bed of quicksand. China's engineering team had to innovate at every step. To handle the desert's fierce winds, they designed the terminal to withstand hurricane-level gusts up to 200 kilometers per hour. Every beam of the roof was continuously welded stainless steel, tested rigorously in wind tunnels. Fasteners, joints, and supports were reinforced to ensure the building could survive even the strongest sandstorms. The soil problem required a different approach. Standard foundations wouldn't hold, so engineers used a strong tamping method, compacting the ground layer by layer to create a stable base for runways and terminals. Materials and construction techniques were carefully chosen to resist both heat and corrosion. Teams worked long hours under punishing conditions: extreme heat, limited water, and sand that seemed to get everywhere. This section of the story shows that the Gwadar airport wasn't just a big investment, it was a technical triumph. Human ingenuity and cutting-edge engineering overcame the desert's extreme challenges, turning what seemed impossible into a fully functional international hub. Now that the desert airport is up and running, the results are more than just impressive, they're transformative. First, think about logistics. Gwadar Port is only 26 kilometers from the new airport, a short drive that now connects air and sea transport seamlessly. Cargo that once sat waiting for days at the port can now move faster, with experts projecting a more than 25% improvement in efficiency. For businesses, that's a game changer: less waiting, lower costs, and smoother supply chains. Trade between China and Pakistan also gets a major boost. In 2023, their bilateral trade hit $20.7 billion, rising to $23 billion in 2024, an 11% increase. With the airport operational, these numbers are expected to climb even higher. The hub opens new channels for regional trade, making it easier for foreign investors to enter Pakistan and for local products to reach global markets. Tourism gets a lift, too. Before the airport, only 1.3 million tourists arrive by air, but with modern facilities and better connectivity, that number could surpass 2 million in 2025. Air travel makes visiting remote or coastal areas faster and safer, injecting new energy into Pakistan's tourism industry. Cargo isn't just about volume, it's also about quality. The airport houses a state-of-the-art underground warehousing system, keeping high-value products like pine nuts and saffron at a constant 2 to 8 degrees Celsius year-round. For local farmers and exporters, this ensures goods reach international markets in perfect condition, improving Pakistan's reputation for premium products. In short, this airport isn't just a building in the desert, it's a catalyst for growth, turning a remote region into a hub of trade, tourism, and logistics efficiency. The new desert airport is just one piece of a bigger puzzle. To truly understand its impact, you need to see how it connects with other major infrastructure projects in the region. Take the Gwadar East Bay Expressway, for example. This $500 million highway is a key artery of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC. Before the expressway, a truck traveling from Karachi to Gwadar could take up to 3 days. Today, it takes just 8 hours, dramatically improving the speed of goods moving across the country. Together, the airport, the port, and the expressway create a regional economic engine. They aren't just separate projects, they are interlinked systems designed to make Gwadar a modern hub for trade, logistics, and transportation. Think of it like a living organism. The airport handles the air traffic, the port manages sea freight, and the highway ensures land transport is fast and reliable. Each part strengthens the others. CPEC itself is more than infrastructure. It's a transformative vision for Pakistan's modernization. From power plants to railways and industrial zones, the corridor aims to inject momentum into the economy, create jobs, and attract foreign investment. The desert airport, once considered an unlikely gamble, is now a cornerstone of this regional strategy. This interconnected approach shows how careful planning, investment, and engineering can turn a remote desert into a thriving hub with national and even international significance. It's not just about moving goods, it's about reshaping the economic landscape of southern Pakistan and the wider region. From barren sands to a modern international hub, Gwadar Airport is a testament to what strategic vision, engineering skill, and bold investment can achieve. What was once a harsh desert, seemingly worthless and uninhabitable, has now become a gateway for trade, tourism, and regional connectivity. The airport doesn't just serve planes, it strengthens China-Pakistan cooperation, accelerates trade along the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, and supports regional development projects like the Expressway and Gwadar Port. For Pakistan, it's a catalyst for economic growth and a powerful symbol of modernization. For the world, it demonstrates how infrastructure can transform a region and create new strategic opportunities. But the story doesn't end here. With the airport fully operational, Pakistan can expect rising passenger numbers, faster cargo delivery, and growing international trade. High-value products like saffron and pine nuts now have a high-tech, climate-controlled storage system that ensures they reach global markets safely. The ripple effects on tourism, investment, and regional influence are just beginning to unfold. So, what do you think? Will Gwadar Airport redefine Pakistan's role in regional trade? Could this desert hub become the beating heart of Southern Asia's economic growth? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to follow our deep dives into ambitious infrastructure projects shaping the world. From desert sands to a gateway of opportunity, this is Gwadar's story, and it's only just beginning.